Welcome back. Well, we lock our smartphones with passwords. We use other safety features to protect our privacy, we think, but it might not be enough to stop cyber spying.
Kevin Haley from Norton Lifelock is telling us how our phones could be helping the bad guys spy on us. Kevin, thanks so much for being with us on Better.
My pleasure.
So how does this happen? I think we're all aware now that we're being marketed to all the time, because you see, as soon as you walk into a Dunkin' Donuts, a Starbucks ad will pop up. The technology is out there for advertisers, but the problem is, I guess bad guys can see everything we're doing and even get our personal information?
Well, really, it's hard to say who gets our personal information, because we don't know who it's getting sold to or how they're using it till you walk into that Dunkin' Donuts.
I think it's very interesting, though, that they do track everywhere that you're going, and they know everything about you.
How do they get it? I mean, you think it's secure. How are they getting all of the information from our phones just by us walking around?
Well, in many cases, we are giving them that information. We downloaded and analyzed the top free applications for both Android and iOS. Half the Android apps and a quarter of the iOS apps asked for permission to track your location and access your camera. So if you give them permission, you're sending that data to them. No matter what they tell you the purpose of tracking it is, that information is also being collected and being used, sold to advertisers, bounty hunters, almost anyone. We just really don't know.
Kev, are people really that interested in my little life here in little old Connecticut that they're hacking us?
Well, certainly people are very interested in giving you targeted ads. So, and it may not be you in particular, it's you in the aggregate. It's a whole bunch of people, anybody where they're going, you're just falling in with everyone else. Although there have been specific cases where this has been used to kind of track individual people. When you think about it, even if that data is anonymized, it would be pretty easy to tell from your locations where you lived, where you worked, where you had lunch, and from there it's pretty easy to figure out who's who.
So you say they have access to our camera. If on the app we say allow that, and often we do that because we want it to work, whatever we got the app for. But does that mean they can actually see us? And if you're getting ready for bed at night, they can use the camera if they wanted to?
Yeah, you're certainly giving them permission to turn it on when you do that. Maybe there is a legitimate use, and there may be a good reason to do that, but that's why we're asking people to really think about it and check. And if it just doesn't seem like it's a valid reason, don't give the permission.
What is formjacking?
Yeah, formjacking is similar to skimming, like an ATM or at a gas station pump where the bad guy puts a little hardware device. So you run your credit card through, it pays for the gas, and the bad guy grabs the credit card number, it sends it off to him. You can't do that on a website. You can't put that little hardware device on there. Formjacking is a virtual version of that. Bad guys, cyber criminals will put a little bit of code, sneak it onto a website. When you go and buy something, the retailer gets your credit card information, but so does the bad guy. He can turn around and sell it to somebody.
Isn't that interesting?
Wow. So what do we do to protect ourselves? Because we all like using our smartphones.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, clearly you need good security software on your PC and on your phone. That'll help protect you, keep you safe. It'll catch something like formjacking. You also, again, need to be thoughtful about these apps, what the permissions you grant them. You really have to use good passwords. We've been saying it for years, but it's just more true than ever. And not just on your PC, on every device you connect to the internet.
And Kevin, should we be changing our passwords on a regular basis? And if so, how often?
Well, you know, conventional wisdom now is among security professionals is not to change your password too often. Making people change their password frequently leads them to forget it or to make it a really easy password so they can remember it. So if you have any reason to believe that you may have lost the password, it may have been stolen, if you get a breach notification for a company, go in and change that password. But otherwise, just do it every so often. There's not a real rush. And we're really recommending getting something like a password manager. They're generally very safe, and they help you keep track of all those passwords. It's just too hard to keep them all in your head.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kev.
Thank you so much. So for more
You bet.
information about how to protect your privacy, you can visit norton.com. You know, we think about getting antivirus software on our computers. I don't know that people think about that.
For your cell phone.
For your cell phone.
Right?
I mean, if it's a company phone, they put it on, but the average person may not have it.
Exactly.